What is up, guys? Welcome to a new POV video, and today you join me inside the new Suzuki Baleno, new facelift, which was introduced sometime last year, that is 2022. And big thanks to BB Group Suzuki, which is the local Suzuki dealership out here in Zanin. Do check out their details down in the description below. Now, this particular one I'm in is the GLX, which is the top trim, and it's also mated to the 5-speed manual gearbox. Now, the car is also available with a 4-speed manual transmission, and yeah, I highly recommend the manual because I feel like it just works better for this sort of vehicle. And 4 speeds in an auto transmission, I feel like, is a bit of a letdown, and it won't produce the best consumption numbers. So yeah, I'd rather go with the manual. Now, speaking of the manual, the feel of the gear lever is nice and smooth. It has some very short throws, and it's easy to judge the throwing points. The clutch is also nicely weighted. It's not too heavy, it's not too light. It's easy to judge the biting points and so forth. Now, the car itself is a very lovely place to be in. The suspension feels very nice and supple, and I don't know if Suzuki uses some kind of complex suspension system, but pretty much all their cars have great feeling suspension, and it's almost unbelievable because it rivals even very premium cars or very premium car brands, and I really applaud them for how the suspension system feels. Now, the GLX comes with some really handy camera systems, and if I pop them up while driving, you can see you can pop up the left side camera, you can pop up the right side camera. I'm not sure how well it is to see right now with the lighting we have, but yeah, basically there is a 360 surround view camera system, which makes it very easy for you to park the car, to drive around tight spaces, and so on. Now, the base price for the Baleno starts at this amount. That is the GL trim. And the top of the range GLX, which is this car, starts from this price. Now, at that price, I feel like this is a very desirable car because the size is nice and big. It's about the size of a VW Golf or Opel Astra. That's part of that segment. The boot is about 318 liters in capacity, and decently sized car, decent practicality, and it comes with unbelievable amount of equipment. I mean, the 360 surround camera systems, I don't know what other car at this price point offers you stuff like that. Now, in certain scenarios, the car is kind of behind. What I mean by that is you still get stuff like analog dials, whereas so many manufacturers have transitioned to like digital screens and so on. But it still comes with everything that you need in today's times, like your app connectivity, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it's fairly good. Now, I'm currently driving at 80 kilometers an hour, and you start to feel that road noise coming into the cabin, but it's nothing too bad because when you're driving, you're listening to the radio, you're listening to music, and that sort of cancels out a lot of the road noise. So road noise is quite decent in this car. It's a very lovely place to be overall, and you can just get nice and cozy. Now, fuel consumption, Suzuki claims 5.4 liters per 100 kilometers in the manual and 5.7 liters per 100 kilometers in the auto. Now, on this car in the real world, you should expect around 6 liters per 100 kilometers, but it is possible to dip down into the 5s. So, 99% of the experience in here is pretty much the same as in the Francs, which makes sense because they share the same platform, with the remaining 1% going to the raised ride height that you get inside the Francs. So this is a car I highly recommend. because it is very desirable at this price point, because the base price of this car, even in its top trim GLX, is less than something like a VW Polo. And I don't think the Polo is any much better than this car, honestly. Sure, inside it might feel a bit more premium, or the overall package of the Polo might be a slightly more premium product, but not enough for me to say it's justifiable for the price it comes at. It might have a few things that are better than this car, like the transmissions on offer. You can of course get the DSG in that, and the 1 liter engine might be more efficient than this engine, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference, you know, especially when you have the manual and having the Polo in manual. I'm just using the Polo as a reference point, so that's something to note. But at the end of the day, it's up to you as the buyer. That's just my suggestion. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this car. Do stay tuned for the full review, which is coming next, and I really do hope you guys enjoyed this POV. And until next time, that's cheers from me.